You're not imagining it. She remembers the smallest things about you, notices changes you don't even realize yourself, and suddenly grows quiet the moment another woman's name enters the conversation. She shows up where you are as if by coincidence, yet when emotions get intense, she retreats like she's running from fire. This isn't random, and it isn't an accident. It's the emotional push and pull of a woman who may be deeply in love, but terrified to expose it. And if you miss these signs, you risk falling into two traps: giving too much too soon, or walking away before you ever understand the truth. Some men swear it's simple. If she likes you, she'll make it clear. Others argue it's never that straightforward, because a woman's fear of vulnerability hides the truth beneath layers of silence and contradictions. So which side are you on? Before we go deeper, hit that subscribe button and share your take in the comments. Do you think most women deliberately send mixed signals, or are they just afraid of opening their hearts? Your perspective matters, because the way you answer reveals how you see female behavior. And it might explain why so many men keep misreading the game. Now let's break down the first of 6 signs that could completely shift the way you see her actions. And if you like this video, let me know in the comment box, and also tell me what topic you want to see in the next one. Number 1, the confusing distance. One of the clearest signs a woman is in love, but scared to show it, is the strange and confusing distance she creates. It looks like rejection, but in reality, it's the exact opposite. When feelings run deep, vulnerability becomes a terrifying enemy. Love makes her feel exposed, and exposure means the possibility of pain. So instead of drawing closer, she steps back. This is not the kind of distance born out of disinterest. It's the kind of distance that comes when emotions are too powerful to be controlled. Her heart races, her thoughts spiral, and suddenly the safest thing she can do is pull away and pretend nothing is happening. This is why you'll notice moments of inconsistency. She might seem engaged, even warm, when the energy between you feels light and casual. But the second it starts getting real, when silence lingers too long, when eye contact lasts a little too deep, when the tension in the air becomes undeniable, she suddenly withdraws. She'll break eye contact, distract herself with her phone, or make an excuse to leave. That's not a lack of attraction. It's her heart screaming louder than she knows how to handle. The confusing distance is her shield. It protects her from the possibility of giving herself away too soon. She knows that once her guard is down, she risks rejection, betrayal, or disappointment. And in her mind, that risk feels heavier than the joy of simply expressing what she feels. So she holds back, testing herself and testing the space between you. To the outside eye, it looks like she doesn't care. But if you pay attention, you'll see the truth in the small cracks. The quick glances she steals when she thinks you won't notice. The nervous way she adjusts her tone or posture when you're near. The subtle hesitation when she wants to walk away but doesn't really want to. Her distance is not emptiness. It's the overflowing of feelings she hasn't found the courage to release. Love is present, but fear is louder, and so the easiest thing she can do is step back, leaving a trail of contradictions that only make sense when you realize the depth of what she's hiding inside. Number, the protective walls. When a woman is in love but afraid to show it, she often builds protective walls around her emotions. These walls don't appear as silence alone. They take the form of sarcasm, teasing, or even indifference. On the surface, it seems like she's keeping things light, detached, or playful. But beneath that surface, every word is a defense mechanism. Love makes her vulnerable, and vulnerability feels dangerous, so she chooses to hide it behind an "I don't care" mask. Her protective walls are not random. They are carefully designed to keep her heart safe. If she lets her true feelings slip, she risks rejection, judgment, or worse, being taken for granted. So instead of admitting how much she feels, she speaks in riddles. She jokes when she's nervous. She downplays her emotions when they're close to spilling out. Sometimes she even acts like she doesn't notice you, just to keep herself from revealing how much she actually does. This is why her words and her actions often don't match. She might say one thing, but then do something that proves the exact opposite. The conflict is not dishonesty. It's fear clashing with love. You'll see this in the way she chooses her moments. When the setting is casual, when nothing important is at stake, she might allow herself to show little glimpses of softness. But when the atmosphere shifts and the weight of real emotions rises, her walls shoot up immediately. It's her instinctive way of saying, "I feel too much, and I don't want you to see it." The mask of indifference becomes her armor, protecting the most fragile part of her heart. These walls don't mean she doesn't care. In fact, they mean she cares too much. She wouldn't need to protect herself if the feelings were small. Her sarcasm, her distance, her carefully chosen words, those are signs of the intensity she's hiding, because deep inside, she knows that once the walls come down, everything will be exposed. And that thought both excites her and terrifies her at the same time. Number 3. The silent attention. When a woman is in love but too afraid to show it, her attention becomes quiet, subtle, and almost invisible to those who aren't looking closely. She doesn't declare her feelings with bold gestures or dramatic confessions. Instead, she pays attention in ways that slip under the radar. She notices the smallest changes in your tone, your habits, your mood. She remembers the little things you said once in passing, the details you might not even remember yourself. This silent attention is her way of staying close, without exposing herself too much. It's in the way she remembers how you take your coffee, the way she asks about something you mentioned weeks ago, or how she notices the shift in your expression before anyone else does. Love makes her observant, but fear keeps her silent. She's not going to announce that she's been paying attention, because announcing it would mean admitting just how much space you occupy in her thoughts. So she stays quiet, letting her care show in the details, while pretending it means nothing. This is where contradictions surface. She might act distant in her words, but her behavior betrays her. She'll notice when you look tired, when you've been quiet too long, when something is off. And while she might not say it directly, her questions or her small acts of care give her away. Silent attention is powerful because it's not forced. It flows naturally from her feelings, but she disguises it as casual curiosity or coincidence. The truth is, she sees more than she's willing to admit. The silent attention also reveals itself in how she listens. When you speak, she's not just hearing the words, she's absorbing the emotions behind them. She catches the hidden meaning, the pauses, the things you don't say. It's an intense kind of listening, one that goes beyond interest and into emotional investment, and yet she hides it, pretending she's just another listener. The effort to conceal is what makes it confusing. On the outside, it seems subtle, almost ordinary, but beneath the surface, her attention is the purest proof of how deeply she feels, even if her fear won't let her put those feelings into words. Number 4. The emotional slip-ups. No matter how carefully a woman tries to hide her feelings, love has a way of slipping through the cracks. These moments often appear when she least expects them, and they reveal more than she ever intended. The emotional slip-ups are sudden flashes of her true self, the raw pieces of her heart that come to the surface before she can control them. She might try to stay calm, indifferent, or detached, but emotions this powerful cannot stay buried forever. You'll see it in the quick bursts of jealousy when your attention drifts elsewhere. She might brush it off with a joke or a sarcastic comment, but the sharpness in her tone reveals something deeper. Or it could come out in nervousness, her hands fidgeting, her voice breaking, her words stumbling when the energy between you gets too intense. Sometimes the slip-ups show in unexpected anger, not because she's truly upset with you, but because she's overwhelmed by feelings she doesn't know how to express. Her emotions erupt in ways that don't always make sense, even to her. There are also moments of vulnerability she cannot mask. A sudden softness in her eyes, a gentle silence that lingers longer than usual, or an unguarded look that says more than words ever could. These are the windows into what she's hiding. They don't last long because she quickly shuts them down, but in those brief seconds, the truth is undeniable. Her heart is speaking louder than her defenses. These slip-ups are not mistakes. They're the truth, breaking free. When she loves but is too afraid to admit it, her emotions become too heavy to contain, and they spill out in raw, unplanned expressions. She may later try to cover them up, laughing it off, distracting you, or pretending it never happened. But if you watch closely, you'll recognize the pattern. The more she tries to suppress, the more these little cracks appear. And through those cracks, her deepest feelings reveal themselves, no matter how hard she fights to keep them hidden. Number. The loyalty without labels. One of the most powerful signs that a woman is in love but afraid to show it is the quiet loyalty she displays without ever naming it. She might never openly confess her feelings or claim any kind of title, but her actions reveal a deep commitment that goes beyond friendship or casual care. It shows in the way she stands by you when it would be easier to walk away, the way she chooses you in small, unnoticed moments, the way she protects your name and presence even when no one else is watching. This kind of loyalty doesn't demand recognition. She doesn't announce it or expect praise for it, because her feelings are too guarded for that. Instead, it comes out naturally in her choices. When others criticize, she defends quietly. When you're not around, she speaks with respect about you. When opportunities arise that could take her attention elsewhere, she finds herself circling back to you. These subtle patterns are her unspoken way of showing where her heart truly belongs. What makes this loyalty even more striking is the fact that it exists without guarantees. She has not been promised anything, yet she gives in ways that only someone emotionally invested would. It may seem confusing because she doesn't label it, she might even deny it if confronted, but her actions paint a different story. Love, even hidden love, creates a gravitational pull, and her loyalty is proof of that unseen force. You'll notice it in the sacrifices she makes without drawing attention to them. She adjusts her schedule, offers help, or chooses to be present in your moments of struggle, even if she disguises it as coincidence or casual care. It's the kind of dedication that doesn't come from obligation, but from a place she cannot fully control. Her fear keeps her from declaring this loyalty openly, but her consistency gives it away. She may try to act indifferent, to play the part of someone unaffected, but her patterns reveal the truth. Without a label, without a promise, without an admission, she continues to show up, to protect, to choose, and that kind of loyalty is never accidental. Number. The fear of exposure. At the core of a woman's silence when she loves but refuses to show it is the overwhelming fear of exposure. Love makes her feel vulnerable, and vulnerability feels like handing over the sharpest weapon to someone who might use it against her. The fear is not just about rejection, it's about the possibility of being seen in her rawest, most unguarded state, a state she has spent years protecting. This fear shapes her every move, her hesitation, her tests, her sudden withdrawals. She wants to let it out, but the thought of what could happen if she does paralyzes her. What if her feelings are not returned? What if her openness becomes a weakness that is taken advantage of? What if loving openly leads to pain she cannot recover from? These questions create a prison of silence, where love grows quietly but cannot find expression. Her actions may confuse, her signals may seem mixed, but behind all of it lies a single truth. She is terrified of being fully exposed. This fear explains her patterns of testing and retreating. She might draw close one moment, sending signals that feel undeniable, then vanish emotionally the next, as if nothing happened. It is not inconsistency, it is self-protection. Every step forward feels like walking on thin ice, so she retreats before the ice cracks. Every test she creates is her way of asking silently, "Will I still be safe if I let you see more of me?" The hesitation is not indifference. It's the weight of a heart battling between desire and defense. You'll see this fear in the pauses, in the way she hesitates before saying something personal, in how she changes the subject when things feel too real. You'll sense it in the way she guards her eyes, the way she hides behind distractions, the way she keeps parts of herself locked away, even while other parts reach out. It is the push and pull of someone who feels deeply, but is terrified of the cost of exposure. Her love is there, strong and undeniable, but fear stands taller, whispering that silence is safer than surrender.